Barbados, get up.
Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Wonderful Wednesday morning to you one and all. Welcome to today. Today, the 18th of February 2026 is the second 18th of the year, it being February, the second month of the year. So to all of you, welcome to another opportunity for you to make a difference. And in making a difference, you give thought and thanks, first of all, to God our Father, who has created us, who's given us yet another opportunity to breathe and to make a difference in service of Him here on earth. So what is your random act of kindness you choose to do today? Could it be simply saying good morning to someone, giving someone a hug, putting a piece of chocolate next to the desk of someone who you care about? What is your random act of kindness today? I want you to give great thought to that. As I always ask, how did you spend your time today? Today is all that you have. So how are you really planning to spend your time today? God has granted you that time, this moment. How do you intend to spend it indeed? And so, it being Ash Wednesday, perhaps it could be spending your time in thought as to what the period of Lent truly means for you and what is God saying to you yet again about His ransom. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get ready to get into the show a little later on today as well. But a very good morning to all of you watching us on our streams on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, cbc.bb. You've made a choice, and we thank you for making this choice. But most of all, we ask of you to share the show, share the love, tell others about us, bring them along. And as you do in your talking to each other in your greetings every day, we love to watch that. We also want you to comment to us in what we're doing as well. Your engagement with what we do makes the world of a difference. As I ask you every morning as well, if you know of something or someone whose story has to be told, you know it. So you tell us about it. We'd love for you to partner with us by sending us an email, pointing us in the direction of the story, the big message, and we'll follow up from there. That email address is on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Mornin Barbados at cbc.bb, and we thank you for being a partner in what we do every weekday morning from 6 o'clock. Thanks a lot indeed. Now, good morning to you, Andrew Jackman. Joe Jackman, good morning. She's watching from the United Kingdom. Long time no here, Joe. When next you coming to Barbados, Joe? Joe and I, we grew up together in Hope Road, St. Lucie. So, Joe, good morning to you. Happy morning to you as well from Grand Rapids to Anthony Hines. Anthony, a Bajan abroad. Good morning to you, Anthony. Have a terrific today from Grand Rapids. Audrey Harris is wishing everyone a blessed Ash Wednesday. Audrey, are you going to church today? Are you going to have the cross etched in ashes on your forehead? What are you doing today, Audrey? What is your random act of kindness today? Eleanor, I just love that name. Eleanor Griffith. Good morning to Eleanor Griffith. Have yourself a terrific today as well. Most wonderful Wednesday morning to you. Janice Jordan, we shall not forget you as well. She extends a very blessed good morning to all of Barbados, wishing all a great Ash Wednesday today. Bajan Rock, how do you do? Thank you so much for your greeting today. We wish you a lovely today. David G. Sullivan, who's watching us from Tennessee in the United States. David, good morning to you. Have yourself a great day. And we wish you and Holly always all the best. Rhonda Hines Graham, Sweet Ron, she's sending blessings on this Ash Wednesday. She says, remember the old people would say that the devil loose. You know you're right. The devil is loose. The devil is loose, so be careful. Protect your own self. And that's all it was a part of. Good morning to Sherry-Ann. Bless Sherry-Ann. Wonderful Wednesday morning to you as well. Thank you so much for joining us and for greeting us as well. Have a terrific today. Now, we're in the midst also of Carnival. I'm waiting to hear who has won the Road March of Trinidad and Tobago for 2026. If you know, let me know. It's also in the midst of Whole Town Festival. And today being Wednesday, what's on the cards for today at 10 o'clock this morning? There's the bus tour of Whole Town. They're boarding at the Whole Town Library. Of course, you get your tickets from the booth, which is just outside of Massey. That's the Whole Town Festival information booth. That's a bus tour this morning at 10 o'clock. It's a great opportunity for you to see Whole Town and be told about the history of Whole Town and the places which you will visit. So take time to take that tour today. Also, later on in the evening, as you know, the Liming Tent is on every single day from 12 noon, running right through to midnight. And at 8 o'clock this evening, the entertainment in the Liming Tent will feature the Legacy team and the Whole Town Ambassador Hyper Sounds. It's going to be great. That's today. I encourage you to get out there and be a part of everything this week as we mark Whole Town Festival. Coming up this morning, yes, we'll talk a little bit more about what today means, Ash Wednesday, and what the period of Lent means, so that we have deeper understanding of why we engage in what we do as people of faith. So we'll talk to our girl in just a moment. You'll say, is that who I'm talking about in just a moment? I took the deep breath because I want to keep you on pause for just a moment as well. This morning also, Dr. Gillian Birchwood, who I always say is the world's greatest pediatrician, will join us. She's sharing with us that silent epidemic that's affecting our children. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you about that, because it's something oftentimes we overlook. And we want to look at that silent epidemic and how we can fix and respond to that silent epidemic, coming up in just a moment. Also today, the Barbados Union of Teachers is engaging on an activity to raise funds to assist those preparing for the Caribbean Union of Teachers Games. And that activity they'll talk to us about a little later on. And before the morning is done, we will hear more about work ethic. There's a lot of conversation oftentimes about the current work ethic. But what is that work ethic? Is it responding to changing times, or have people simply changed? We'll talk to that when we look at HR Edit in just a little while. We'll take a break right here. When we come right back, we're jumping into what today means and what the period of Lent also means. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggle.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 9 minutes after 6 o'clock today. Lest I forget, here's our question of the day. We want to give real pause and real thought to today's question of the day. Look at your screen. We're looking at Lent and lifestyle. What to you does Lent mean today? What does Lent mean to you today, in today's context? Could it be a time for spiritual reflection? Is that what Lent means to you today? Is it giving something up? Is that what Lent means to you today? Is it doing more good in your community? Could it be just a reminder of cultural traditions? Or is it doesn't really resonate with you today? Is that what it is? Think about that. And as you think about it, post your comments in our comment section on Facebook and YouTube. What does Lent, the period of Lent, mean to you today? Or has it just lost its flavor? We'll delving into that conversation right now. We have with us, I was about to say it again, Reverend Herb Ambrose of St. Paul's Anglican Church. We know her so well. And so, Reverend Ambrose, good morning to you.
A very good morning, Pearson.
Can I say Happy Ash Wednesday, or is that a mixture of terms that don't make sense?
I'm not sure.
That's all right.
I'm not sure. You say good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Just leave it at that.
Yes.
Ash Wednesday. Is that a Christian activity, or is that something that's just symbolic?
It is a Christian activity. Mm-hmm. It's biblical. And when I say biblical, they're about rain. Because in the Old Testament, you would know that when persons felt that they had done something wrong, they would put on sackcloth and ashes. And it was a very mundane, draining, sad looking time. But really, Ash Wednesday takes on meaning, and it is not necessarily that opportunity or time when you are down, drained, or whatever. It's a time where there's introspection. And certainly on Ash Wednesday, which begins the season of Lent, 40 days of Lent, and when you check the calendar, it's more than 40 days because we don't count the Sundays.
Right.
The Sundays are always mini Easters, but we don't say the hallelujahs. But it's the time to pause and look inwardly and realize that we are frail human beings. And that's it. And the frailty helps us to know that we call upon that greater person. And for me, of course, that person is Jesus. That person is God.
Of course.
Right. So,
You know, when you reference the sackcloth and ashes, for me, that also means when it was put on the individual, it was a moment of reflection. You were called upon in the presence of those around to adjust. And that, I think, is also important. At the beginning of the show, I talked about the ransom. I talked about the ransom deliberately because for me, the period of Lent is an expression of God's love to us through the sending of his son, who was born, as we say, in December, but it's his sacrifice so that he can be reconnected to us. That happens during what we call the period of Lent. I want to look at that deliberately because oftentimes we don't quite understand God's plan. And what is he doing? Why is it taking so long? If he's going to fix this, just fix it. Help us understand what this period of Lent could mean to us understanding that demand that we have for God fixing it fast.
and I think that's the main problem, the fixing it fast. As to my mind, God created us and created us as beings who have the ability to choose. And you choose to do good or evil. And in choosing to do good, that is, we believe doing good is to do what God wants. And doing good is to be loving and patient and kind and helpful. But that is not generally the natural thing. It doesn't come easy because as human beings, just human beings, we have the tendency to preserve oneself. And because we preserve oneself, we always think about what is in it for me and how can I save myself. When we look at Ash Wednesday and the whole concept of Lent, you rightly said, it's a sacrifice. God so loved that he gave. And in giving, we have to realize that we make sacrifices. And the sacrifice that we made, in order for somebody to be happy, then I have to give something. I have to help. I am the one who has to do this thing. Hopefully somebody can help me. But I am generally happy when people around me are happy. So it's all about making the right choice. And we want God to fix it. But if he fixes it, then we all be robots. So so it's a choice, and it has to be something that you want and that you desire. And so we have this inner thing inside. I don't know what to call it. That is a yearning to always want to be fulfilled and better and accomplish. But that feeling comes when you have a relationship with God, when you acknowledge that you are not alone and you need help, and that help is to call God's presence into one's life. And so when you fall or when you get hurt or there's difficulty, you can say, Lord, have mercy. And that is the simplest prayer ever. Yes. And when you call on that name, it's like pulling some energy and some strength, and you get up and go because you know you are not alone. And this cross, we put the sign of the ashes, because basically as human beings, we're frail. You know, the ashes blow away. If we are on our own, we blow away. But when we call upon the name of Jesus, we have that power to get up and go.
There's so many things you've just said that I'm dying to sink my teeth into. Before we started the show, you would have heard me playing Do No Sinful Action, Speak No Angry Word. We belong to Jesus. And so, for me as a child growing up, that was the hymn we sang at Ash Wednesday and we sang throughout the Lenten period. It centered us into why this period was so important and what is required of us to do, how we change our mindset to adopt a new behavior. And Christ came to save us so that we are refreshed, so that we can have that relationship with God through Him. Christ also went into the wilderness, and that's what you were just talking about, where you take the time to go back to the source from which you came, and to have a greater appreciation for how awesome and powerful God truly is. And this Lenten period, to my mind, allows us to dwell for just a moment to see the magnanimity of His love for all of us. And while for a lot of people Lent seems like, oh my gosh, it's so sad, somebody died.
Exactly.
It isn't.
It really isn't. So it's the introspection. And that is why in the church we have these seasons. And life is seasonal. You can't have Christmas all the time.
Correct.
And so we celebrate at Christmas and everybody wants to give. Even those who are not Christian give, and so it's infectious. But the reality is, as you go through life, there's so many stages in life, and so you are sometimes between a rock and a hard place. You go through the dark soul of the night. You know, somebody has hurt you, you've received news that you are ill. Somebody has hurt you terribly, and the thing is, the people who hurt you terribly are the people that you love dearly, and that's why I think the pain is so much. And so when Lent comes, you kind of settle down, because as I was coming down here, I was thinking, it's like you're going to the repair shop for a checkup. So this is the checkup time, and because we pray always. We fast sometimes intermittently, etc. during the year, but Lent is that time when you get the floss, dental floss to go deep down, and so during Lent you get deep down. It's all about you, but not about you. It is about what I can do to change the world around me, to change my health, and to change, to make things better. But even as we want to do these changes, we never do them on our own. It is God, and that is the center.
Correct.
God.
Are we losing the relevance of the Lenten period as a people?
Yes, I believe so, because when I was growing up, we went to church. My mother was always in the church. But in addition to that, schools went to church. Children went to church. So if you didn't get it at home, you certainly got it in the community, in the context of the school. And even the hymns singing, and because all the hymns that I know now, I learned them at school.
That's right.
And they connect, because music is international way of communicating. Sometimes you don't even have to hear the words. The sound changes, transforms you, and all that is during Lent. So you have the do no sinful action, speak no angry words. You have there's a green hill far away without a city wall, and it take you journey. And if you know the story of Jesus, who did good, and then realize he was crucified, sometimes you get an understanding of why when you are in this world, that you are doing the best that you can, but then something difficult happens to you. But it didn't always stay negative. Right. It didn't always stay at length. Then came the resurrection. And so we need to really pattern our lives and bring the children along, because our children, we have dropped the ball. Because we have dropped the ball, our children don't. So
you're right, and I agree with you completely. One of my favorites to sing at this time of year is When I Survey the Wondrous Cross, on which the Prince of Glory died. my richest gains, I count but loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. And so, using your analogy of the car going to the mechanic, over time we've built up this pride. I am doing this on my own. I don't need anyone else to get this done. And we build up that pride. But when we cast our minds for just a moment on the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, then we recognize, had it not been for, so the same thing happens with our spirituality. Had it not been for the grace of God, what would we be? We get back to the mechanic. So we want to use this period of Lent for just a moment to get back to the mechanic.
Get back to the mechanic.
And the mechanics of it.
And the mechanics of it. And it's real. So it's not just a season. We put some flesh onto the bones, because the Ash Wednesday is just the skeleton. We need now to put some action into it. And when we put the action into it, I think that our world can be different. People can be more connected to one another, because we are not connected. We are so connected to these things these days. Even I connected to the phone. But it's people that matter. And I mean, the Ash Wednesday, we talk about the Ash Wednesday. I usually do school services. So last year, one of the children said to me, "Rev, where you get the ashes from? That's a dead person. I don't want that on me." I said, "No, sweetheart. This is from the palm crosses and branches that we used last year at Palm Sunday. And we burnt, and then we made them into ashes, because life is, joyful." The Palm Sunday, the triumphal entry, and everybody is saying, "Oh, so great." And they even took the clothes off and put it for him to walk on. And then,
in a matter of days,
some of these same everything changed. And that happens to us in life as well. And if we will make these connections, we will be more compassionate, more understanding towards each other, more forgiving. That's another thing that we need to do and consider during this season of Lent. And when you forgive, it ain't like you forget, it ain't like you're stupid. It's like you understand, something had to be wrong, that this individual did this, and so I ain't gonna hold on to it.
Because God has not held on to it. And that's the point. We're patterning ourselves after God. God could have, I know he would have, because Satan thought he would have. Satan wanted to challenge God and say, "Yes, watch and see what he can do. He will destroy you. He doesn't care about you." But God says, "No, that's not who I am. That's not my character.
Exactly.
I want to restore my connection to my people, and so I'm sending my son to fix it." And so the spirit of Lent helps us not just to reflect on what it all means, but to understand the vastness of God's love for us. When Jesus went into the wilderness, he got that. He got that. So much so that he was able to resist all of the temptations of the devil, because he knows his Father. And so we are required this period of Lent to get to know our Father better, and to understand that our Father loves us so much. And that means taking time to get into worship. You can't do this on your own. You are not the mechanic. God is the mechanic. So services, the church doors are open today and for the rest of the Lentils every Sunday and every week. So use your time now to come into the car shop. Come in. God will not refuse you indeed. Any brand, every make, every model, everyone is entitled to receive his goodness. And so we want to encourage you to come. So as you think about this today, what Lent means to you today, it might mean a time of spiritual reflection. I think it is a spiritual reflection moment. It means sometimes giving something up in order for your car to do better. It means stop doing that so you can get the car better. Doing more good in your community, take you into places. Just a reminder of cultural traditions. Is that just it? Is that it alone? No, it isn't. And sadly enough, for a lot of people, it really doesn't resonate anymore. We just heard from Dr. Ambrose about that. Let's see if we can fix this together during the period of Lent. I think we should really take this seriously today. The times are changing. The time is getting shorter. And so you need to prepare, folks. You really need to prepare. I'm not scaring you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying you need to prepare. Use this moment. Use this moment. Don't miss this moment. The Reverend Ambrose, I thank you.
You are more than welcome.
I'm so grateful to you indeed. Thank you very much.
Yes, and I just want to say, parents, please allow your children to get involved. Encourage them to come to church, get the ashes and so on and so forth. Okay? Much love.
Much love. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're coming back in a moment.
Adios.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want?
It's the month of love, and Morning Barbados wants to hear your love story. In 90 seconds or less, send us your short video sharing your love story, how it began, how it started, and why it is so important to you. Selected videos will be featured on Morning Barbados and on TV8 on our social media platforms, and the most votes wins. The month of love is here, ladies and gentlemen, and made very special by South Point Hotel, where breathtaking ocean views meet modern elegance and romance comes naturally. So, love is in the air. Send us your video by email to marketing@cbc.bb. You have until February the 25th to do so, and good luck to all. We can't wait to hear your love story. Minutes after 6 o'clock, as I keep saying, there's so much to talk about. Last night, I was at the Christchurch Foundation School to witness the running and the excitement of children having good fun in that environment, indeed, for their inter-house sports. Well done to Lynch House, the Greenhouse. Remember, we had a couple of students here with us yesterday, and so congratulations to all. It was a really, really good day from the afternoon into the night, and so well done to all of you. We want to look at our children. And did you know there's a silent epidemic that's affecting our children? And I know I say that like that deliberately, it will cause you pause because you're asking, what is that epidemic about? And so we're happy to be joined by the world's greatest pediatrician. I keep saying it because I believe it, in Dr. Gillian Bertrand. Dr. Bertrand, good morning.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados.
It is always so good to have you. When you sit here, we learn so much, and we have a greater understanding and appreciation for what us as adults need to look out for so that our children have the best start and the best life as they grow. And so this silent epidemic caused me pause yesterday when I was teasing about this. What is it?
This silent epidemic is anxiety in children. And we're not just talking about a moment of worry, a fleeting moment. We're talking about anxiety disorders, which really and truly have become epidemic, particularly since the COVID pandemic. Pediatricians and healthcare providers and teachers who look after students can clearly relate that they have seen an explosion in anxiety. And I have never sent so many children for therapy in my career as I have over the last few years after COVID.
What kinds of age ranges are you seeing?
So we have anxiety in children as young as 3 years old. Yes, I've seen that in children who are very young, and I've definitely seen an increase in children from 5 years and up, certainly in later childhood and in the teenage years. After puberty, you're certainly seeing a lot of anxiety in those children.
So something must have happened.
Yes.
what then could have happened? Because I can't begin to imagine what could be pressing on the mind and the hearts and the emotions of a child at 3 to cause them anxiety. Can you give some examples?
Yes, so for example, in that particular case of the 3-year-old, there were triggers for their anxiety. So there was a lot of family instability, which is usually the case in the younger children who would display signs of anxiety, and certainly you see it in the older children as well. But when you have really significantly disordered home environment, then you will tend to see anxiety, and it can show up in different ways in different ages of children. So in that particular child, he had obsessions and compulsions. And it was something that his family did not recognize at first. But then they came to the office and they said, you know, when he walks into a room, he has to straighten things up, he has to touch each window, and he has a routine when he comes into each room that he enters. And they said this is something that's very strange and that they've noticed, and they have another child, and this never happened with that child. That was how they recognized that something was going on. And that child actually had obsessive compulsive disorder. And when we looked into the home environment, we could recognize that there were a lot of things, and it really was probably the underlying cause in that particular child.
We don't call that anxiety, we just call it OCD. But you were saying that is also a measure of anxiety.
It's a form of anxiety, yes.
While you were talking, we put up a graphic there. If you can bring that up again, because I want to show people again, I want to look at this, folks, and see how children exhibit what we call anxiety. Some of them at times appear to be more clingy than normal.
Yes. So, you know, there's a period of time where children don't want to separate from their parents, and that's normal, but then they usually get over it. But then when you find that, you know, your child is holding on to you, I don't want to go into school, they've been going to school all of the time, and now all of a sudden they can't let you go, and they are not able to handle being away from people who they feel comfortable and secure around. They're particularly clingy. That can be a sign this may be anxiety going on. I saw that in one child who had visited another country and been present when there was a bank robbery in that country. And when she returned to Barbados, she wouldn't leave her mother's side. And it was clearly related to what she had been through. Another thing that you can see is that children may be very restless and fidgety. The anxiety makes them unable to sit still and be comfortable. And so they're twitching and having to do something all the time. People may think they might be having ADHD, but it actually might be something else going on. Might be a sign of anxiety. You can have physical symptoms. A very common thing is when children will complain, I have a tummy ache, I can't go to school today, you know, I have headaches, and all of a sudden you may see this happening where they were fine before. I have seen this in children where there was a bully at school, or they were attending a new school and they didn't feel comfortable yet, a new teacher they didn't like, and all of a sudden they had problems and couldn't go to school in the mornings. So there are different ways in which anxiety disorders can show up, and I want parents to be aware so that they recognize this child as not just being, you know, disruptive.
Unnecessarily fussy.
Exactly.
And so the conditions around, because it's not always in the home where the anxiety is triggered.
Correct.
It's also external of the home. And so there are many things that we need to get familiar with.
Yes.
But then the parent scratches their head and asks, but then what do I do? I can't fix what I can't fix.
Yes.
What do I do?
So if you have had a child who has had a formal diagnosis of one of the forms of anxiety disorder, then the parent, first of all, needs to take the child to a therapist. Initially, that can be a psychiatrist and a psychologist. They would usually work together in assisting in the management of that. And for the parent at home, they can have certain techniques that they can be taught. So the most common way that children are treated is with cognitive behavior therapy, which is actually a form of therapy that helps children to recognize that their thoughts can affect the way that they feel and the way that they behave. And so that somebody who does cognitive behavior therapy can help to tease that out and help them to understand this is why you are feeling this way, because your thoughts are making you anxious. Your behavior is reflecting that anxiety. But the parents can also be taught techniques at home to help them. Sometimes it can be breathing exercises or different exercises to help them calm down and break that cycle of anxiety. In addition to that, parents, and we talk about this all the time, should model the correct behavior. If you have anxious behaviors and thoughts and are expressing those all the time, your children are similarly going to be affected by those things. Be careful what you discuss in front of your children. Be careful how much you talk about Trump and the New World Order and other things that generate anxiety, for example, in the home. You may not be aware of how much your children think about those things. And then you also need to be willing to sit and listen. And don't just tell them, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. Sit and listen to them and help them to be able to express themselves and have a safe outlet. And, you know, make sure you have a regular routine. Routines are very calming for children. I know what's going to happen next. So having a chaotic, disordered lifestyle is not good for an anxious child.
At all. Children at different stages express differently. So yes, the younger ones, you can get into the minds a little easier than the older ones who have already deep set ideas.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about managing those moments when your preteen or early teen is struggling with anxiety.
Yes.
And you're again asking, what do I do? Do I feed them? Because, you know, sometimes food is for a lot of people a solution, but it's not a solution. So how do you use this cognitive therapy in such a way that these children who are more capable are able to process?
Well, often a therapist, and this is where the therapist and the psychiatrist would come in, and they would be able to kind of address that more deeply. But they would look at, because sometimes there are underlying triggers, not always. Sometimes there is a genetic explanation for it, but not always. But they will look into triggers for that anxiety and teach techniques for when you are faced with this, because you're going to be faced with spiders at some point in your life, or you're going to be faced with a situation where you will feel out of your depth, perhaps public speaking. So rather than running away from the fear, which strengthens the fear, they're going to say, let's learn how to cope with this fear. And they will take baby steps in approaching and developing coping mechanisms. So when you're faced with a situation, you'll remember, this is what I was taught. This is how I'm going to face this situation. This is why I feel afraid. This is what I can do. And so it sort of removes all of the fears around that situation, and they have tools which, you know, sort of prepares them in advance and allows them to function. This is something that is developed over a period of time of sessions of therapy and sessions of analysis to understand the triggers as well.
This is serious. This is serious. We all want the best outcome for our children. We all do. We all do. Nobody wants to have the fussy child that is going to be, I'm going to say, Father, forgive me, a bit of a burden for so long. And because that's the way we view it. That's the way we view life. We want the child to be happy all of the time. And so, what do we do? We've shared with you what do we do. We'll also share with you after this break what happens if we do not. We'll look at that in just a moment after this.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution.
You know, in the Bible, we were told if you put anything that would block our children's progress, then we can as well just hang a millstone around our necks and go. And that's how important God sees our children. And so we as parents who God gave the children to, we need to also see our children as precious. And so look out for those different signs that we've been talking about, where a child is exhibiting different levels of anxiety. In some instances, there are different types of approaches given how it's characterized, whether it's OCD, autism, and we can give a whole list of other things. But at the same time, it's important that we have that relationship with their pediatrician and their doctor to have it identified, tested, so that we can have the response that we're looking for. And so as we've been sharing with Dr. Birchwood this morning, she's been sharing with us some of the things that we need to watch when the child's a little bit clingy, when the child has those separation anxieties, all of those kinds of things show up, and the children show you. And sometimes, Dr. Birchwood, they go quiet. They just go quiet.
Yes. You know, you need to be very concerned when you see a change in your child's personality. Perhaps it may be anxiety, it might be other things, but be very vigilant when you notice a change in your child's personality. And don't just dismiss it and say they're going through a phase. We know that teenagers will go through that phase sometimes, where they look at you with eyes as if to say, why are you my parent? Yes. Right? But if you notice a really dramatic change, you need to ask that question. You need to sit down and talk with them and explore what's going on. Sometimes you see changes in personality in children who are going through events. So for example, there may have been the death of someone close to them. There may be common entrance, because we see anxiety around common entrance time, CXC time, CAPE time, and you might see a change in your child's behavior. And you might think, oh, they're being very focused. No, it might be that they're trying to deal with an inner storm that you're not recognizing is going on.
We keep forgetting that children are perfectly formed.
Yes.
They just haven't grown up yet in the way that we have.
Correct.
So they go through the same things.
Yes.
They just don't know how to articulate
Exactly.
it. And I think if we stop for just a moment to recognize that these are little adults in the making. With everything that is required of them to be the adult, but just needs greater formation and greater control, then we can have a better appreciation for what they're going through.
Yes.
When we put them in stressful situations, then what do we expect?
Exactly.
And so, in looking at all of this, what's the danger in not fixing all of this?
Yes. With children, when you don't address chronic problems, of which anxiety is one, it doesn't just disappear. It gets worse and worse. And at some point, it's going to build up, overflow, and explode. And so, for example, we've had situations where a parent may have been divorced, and the parent sees that their child may on the outside look very happy, but they don't recognize that this child is anxious because of what has happened. They are unsure of what's going to happen next. And you see these behaviors manifesting later on when they're into adolescent years and into puberty. You might see aggressiveness, and you wonder, where did this come from? You might see promiscuous behavior. You might see the use of alcohol and drugs. You might see school functioning drop off. You might find that they have a new set of friends who perhaps you don't approve of very much, or they may become loners. And so there are really significant outcomes, and they deal with this at some point in their life. So it's not something that you can just dismiss. It can affect them well into adulthood, that they will avoid certain situations. It may affect their job prospects. And so, you know, a bad incident at school, and I'm not blaming teachers, I love teachers, but a bad incident at school where you stood up and perhaps gave the wrong answer and the whole class laughed might mean that when you are in a position to public speak, that you are unable to do so, that you are paralyzed in your adulthood. So it's very important not to dismiss these things and say, oh, they'll get over it. They may not have the tools to express how this affected them at that age. But when they reach those adult years, the reckoning comes. And so you really need to make sure that you support them at an early age. The same child I told you about who had witnessed a bank robbery, I insisted and explained to her parents she must get therapy because her behavior was not normal. And they really didn't think of it in that way. They didn't see it. And when she had therapy, they said she was a different child, that she started socializing more, that she started wanting to go out more to social events with her friends, which she had previously avoided, and they didn't see the connection there. So please, parents, if you see the signs of anxiety in your child, please make sure that you take them to their doctor, have them screened, and then they will have the appropriate referrals so that they can get the help and avoid the long-term consequences.
I know parents watching and listening, you're thinking, oh boy, this is so much, because I love my child so much, but this is so much to handle and to do. And so, yes, Dr. Birchworth, thank you for all of the advice. But then you think of the cost of doing so.
Yes.
And you add a dollar value to this whole thing. And this thing cannot manage dollar value. This is beyond a dollar value now. This is your child's life, giving your child the best start to life, and to live a life that's happy and contented and contributing in significant ways to self and to others as well. So it's not to be overlooked at all. It is not to be brushed away as a visit to the playground. It is not to be brushed away as a visit to a meal. It is or just stay quiet, I'll bring you everything you need. Because that's what we do. We just want it to go away. I'll give the child everything physically I think it needs. And sometimes that's not what the child is asking for.
No. And sometimes as parents, we feel guilt. Why is it that my child has been suffering with this? It's not always your fault. Life circumstances happen. But the key is, as a parent, to face it head on and deal with it. And not just brush it under the carpet. It won't go away.
So you got to look at all the signs. So if we can show the graphic again of what anxiety might look like in a child, so we get a greater understanding. Look at this. They may appear more clingy than normal, just in letting go. No, don't leave me. You take them to the school gate and they're hanging on for dear life. They can become restless or fidgety. They're just going off on their own, and they just want to do this thing, and they're just constantly going because I want to run away from whatever's in my mind. That's what they do. They oftentimes complain of stomach aches, headaches, fatigue, just not feeling right. And you say to yourself, just pull yourself together, little one. Get on, put on your school clothes, let's go. Not recognizing it's the anxiety that they're facing. They display changes in eating and sleeping habits. Wetting the bed is one of those sometimes that occurs.
Absolutely.
You agree with me on this one?
Yes, wetting the bed. If your child suddenly starts wetting the bed, something is going on. It may not be anxiety, but it could be.
It could very well be, so don't ignore it. They express negative thoughts or worries. Some children are verbal in that way, they'll tell you, or they'll show you. That's the other way that you need to hear. Sometimes they show you. And so you need to be open enough to recognize what's going on. They get upset and angry more quickly.
Teenagers.
I was coming to you're going to see that happen as they get older. You better believe it. Don't panic about it. Don't panic, parent. That's not the time for you to panic, but to understand it and to have that level of communication so you are appreciative of what's in the mind and the spirit of the child. They have bouts of unexplained crying. And this is not just girls alone. Boys do this too.
Absolutely.
They may go into their room and hide and do it. But they express their emotions in these kinds of ways. And you got to know. You have to know. Sometimes they cry silently. But you have to know.
You have to know. Pay attention.
Because you see the changes. Pay attention. And they struggle to concentrate. Oh, that's the one that we see a lot. The report changed.
The report
the performance changed.
Something is wrong.
Something has to be wrong.
Yes.
But that's not the only one on which you should focus, because there might be combinations of all of these that cause you pause. And so we want you to give greater thought to how you care for those children. It's a silent epidemic. It creeps up on you and you did not know. And if you don't attend to it, later on in life it explodes.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to avoid here.
Yes.
Well done, Dr. Birchwood.
Well done, Pearson.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Do you do Lent?
If I do Lent? Well, I grew up as a Catholic, although I'm not a professing Catholic. I very much believe in God. I don't fast only during the Lenten season. I will do it at different times of the year.
That's why you're so slim. and so, do you do the crosses on the forehead and so forth?
I actually have not been. When I was listening to the priest, the pastor earlier, I was just thinking guiltily about the last time. Yes,
Good.
I felt guilt.
Good. Do you do carnival?
No.
Okay.
Not anymore.
That's not that one?
No.
All right, fair enough. Dr. Birchwood, it's always great having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Folks, mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, caregivers, everyone, family. Our children need us to pay attention. Our children need us to hear them when they speak in words and actions. They want us to know they're experiencing anxiety, and they want us to help them manage that anxiety. But we need to be paying close attention to when it happens. And when it does happen, don't panic. Attend to the doctor and seek the advice that you're requiring for that help. Mornin Barbados comes back in just a moment.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So it's Wednesday. It is most importantly Ash Wednesday, and there are churches across the island that are open today to receive the children quite early. I know as a child, going to Sealer Primary School, we went to the Sealer Methodist Church, which was right next door. But many of the children today will be attending church very early in the morning. I think it's usually a 9 o'clock service, and they will have their opportunity to learn more about what this Lenten period is all about. Later on in the day, the adults will have their opportunity to go into churches as well, all across the island, most of the denominations, I shouldn't say all, most of them, so that you experience what this Lenten, a reminder of what the Lenten period is all about. I know in the James Street Spikestown Circuit of the Methodist Church at 6:30 this evening, there is this Circuit Lenten service at James Street Methodist, pulling together the 10 churches of the James Street Spikestown Circuit of the Methodist Church. There are churches open. God's arms are forever open. But today being Lent also brings, Ash Wednesday, brings to an end officially the carnival season in Trinidad and Tobago. So no more talk about carnival, one would want to say. But I must tell you and remind you that at last Sunday's Dimanche Gras, for the second time, the one and only Terry Lyons brought home the crown, and again with a standing ovation that went on for minutes following her performance. And if you can't imagine why, I can't imagine why you cannot imagine why. Take a look at this performance.
Good evening, Savannah. I am here to pray for my country, Trinidad and Tobago, and ask Him to strengthen us. Dear Lord, I know we haven't been the best, but we are good people. And I ask you, dear Lord, to cover us. Because who, without sin, cast the first stone? We need to come together and pray. I'm tired and I'm worried and I'm feeling the pain. My faith's been tested time and time again, but my spirit is determined to believe and to overcome life trials that seem to never done. But still, I kneel before you with a praying song. Lord, I come to pray for the strength and the faith that's required. Amen. I pray for my people to not lose their fire. Amen. I send in thanks for those who suffer in silence. Amen. Grant them wisdom, cures, clarity and guidance. Amen. I pray for the young and I pray for the old. Cover their minds, Lord, don't let them lose control. Though we stand in sin or transgressions are many, thank God for the life that He gave me. All you who talk and are losing faith, time to congregate and no time to separate. Look, I'm calling on my prayer warriors and I'm in country. Come on, Tobago need me, cause I say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Come on, come on. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Life is getting harder to manage. Oh yeah. The plan He had for us is vanishing because violence. Lord, the nation in distress. What What's it gonna take? We need a rest. It's time that we repent and we confess. Cause Lord, I'm tired of the bloodshed and rising in number. Amen. I'm tired to the youth choose the path of plunder. Amen. Can't walk the streets in peace, it's a problem. Amen. Father, intervene, please save your children. Amen. I pray for them gangs, them surrender your soul. You're not fully done, but you're fully in control. Change up your mindset and clean up your community. Thank God for the life that He gave we. All you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to look, I'm calling on my prayer warriors. My prayer warriors. Whoa, everybody say Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Come on, come on, come on. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Dissension is spreading, it's trending. Oh yeah. Greed and lies has surely shake we faith. Hearts gone cold, the wicked quoting well. Doubt in a place where hope should dwell. We all have to answer to Him, so knees go bend. In the end, Lord, I pray for the leaders to lead with integrity. Amen. Some people could thrive and provide for their family. Amen. I really fed up by the racism, hate, the division. Amen. We all have history here, no matter your religion. Amen. I prayed for all the false prophets of mislead your flock. Lord, open the eyes of the sheep that they mock. I pray in your strength and we in solidarity. Thank God for the life that He gave me. So all you who doubting and losing faith, time to congregate and no time to step up. Look, I'm calling on my prayer warriors. My prayer warriors. Hey, how we say that Trinidad need a blessing. God's side Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Come on, come on, come on. Trinidad need a blessing. I want everybody right out in the air. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. From Trinidad to Tobago need a blessing. Amen. With you we walking through the fire. Amen. To make it we must stand together. Amen. To build safe our communities. Amen. Enjoy the life that you give away. Amen. You are a feeling to behold. Amen. Like those straying souls. Amen. Who God bless, no man curse. Speak it in the universe. I say, God bless protection and wrong way. Amen. So the devil can't touch me. Amen. Evil mind and jealousy. Amen. Keep me away from them jumpy. Amen. I feel a joy in my soul. Amen. Cause He always in control. Amen. The only way that I know. Everybody sing along and sing with me. Trinidad need a blessing. Oh, Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen. Come on, come on, come. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Oh, what we say, what we say. Move, Satan, move, never pass. Move, Satan, move, never pass. Trinidad, let me pass. Trinidad, to be sanctified. Move, Satan, move, never pass. Trinidad need a blessing. A blessing. Tobago need a blessing. A blessing. Trinidad need a blessing. A blessing. Tobago need a blessing. I wanna see Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Trinidad need a blessing. Who God bless no man curse. Need a blessing. Trinidad need a blessing. Tobago need a blessing. Amen, amen, amen. And may God bless our nation.
You hear this spin. You heard the applause. That went on for minutes. After that rendition, they're from Terry Lyons, the Calypso Monarch of Trinidad and Tobago. For 2026, that song is called Blessings. You'll find it online. I'm sure, like me, it resonates with you and resonates very easily and very, very quickly as well. So there we go. Congratulations to her indeed. And right after, her father came up to her and he gave her a kiss. Isn't that cute? Isn't that sweet indeed? Super Blue, her father. We'll take a break here, folks. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's take a look at the news now. A brazen daylight shooting shattered the peace in the St. Michael district yesterday afternoon, leaving one man dead and residents shaken. The gunfire erupted near to the St. Mary's Primary School in the city, and people in that area want that shooter caught quickly. Videographer Anderson Arthur was on the scene, and Deanza Roberts has the story.
Police say around 1:42 p.m., the Operations Control Room received reports of gunfire in the area of St. Mary's Primary School. Moments later, another call indicated that a body had been discovered along 3rd Avenue, Chapman Lane. Public Affairs and Communications Officer of the Barbados Police Service, Acting Inspector Ryan Braffett, revealed the initial investigations.
Our initial investigations in relation to this report has shown that a male was sitting in the area commonly referred to as the canal. When two individuals approached him, they flanked him, discharged a number of gunshots, causing him to run away from the area. He subsequently fell in the area of 3rd Avenue, where his lifeless body was found. Medical attention was sought, and a doctor visited the scene, examined the body, and pronounced death.
The broad daylight shooting has left residents disturbed, especially given its close proximity to a primary school. One resident says she heard several gunshots and was immediately alarmed.
I only heard the commotion when I was in the bar, and I had to shift myself to lay down flat. So that's all I could tell you. But otherwise, I can't tell about nothing more. But it's very disturbing.
Police have not yet released the identity of the deceased, but the resident who knew him says he was a pleasant man.
Just close to home, and the school here, the children in school, is a good example.
All you gotta do is to catch the culprit.
We want to hold the culprit, whoever it is that do it, and bring it to justice.
Police have not yet released the identity of the deceased, but the resident who knew him says he was a pleasant man.
He's a very nice person.
What was he like? What was your interactions with him like?
Well, he didn't close.
But
the last thing he do is buy a coat from me.
Yeah.
He run the shop. Cause he usually buy, when he buy his food, he will buy a drink to drink with the food. But he was very pleasant.
Police investigations are ongoing. They are appealing to anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477, Police Emergency at 211, or the Criminal Investigations Department at the Central Police Station. as residents grapple with yet another act of gun violence. Many are once again calling for calm and justice. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Well, since the filing of that report, the police have identified the shooting victim as 29-year-old Shamar Corey Aline of Greenpoint, St. Philip. A call for more agricultural exhibit at AgriFest. The appeal has come from the Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul. Addressing sponsors and exhibitors at the Queen's Park yesterday, Mr. Paul said expanding the number of agricultural displays would better showcase the resources and opportunities available within the Barbados farming sector. Here's a report from Trevor Thorpe.
This year marks the 21st anniversary of AgriFest. The theme is innovation, driving profitable, sustainable agriculture. And organisers say 2026 is all about setting the stage for the future of farming. Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, believes expanding the number of agricultural exhibits will help push the industry forward.
We need to see more agricultural exhibits at the exhibition. But this is a function too of the people themselves. I think that the unfortunate thing is in agriculture is that maybe we complain too much, we criticize too much, without thinking at the same time also we need to showcase what we have. And I think that one of the things that we must recognize is that we are not going to get the level of assistance that we require if we don't at least showcase to people what we do and who we are. And that is what our AgriFest is about.
This year's staging of the 3-day exhibition also introduces new features. Among them is a container gardening exhibit designed to show how small spaces can deliver big results.
One of the exhibits this year we are going to involve is that of the containerized greenhouses, where, for instance, we are going to show proof that yes, you can cultivate agricultural products in greenhouses, but only some. And for instance, the Minister of Agriculture moved in their presentation should be very interesting for those of you who want to look at the whole question of containerized greenhouses. Again, that is something again that we want to showcase.
And there's more. The popular schools culinary competition is making a comeback with 13 schools ready to compete.
One of the things that we'll be seeing in terms of that school's culinary competition, those of you who would know Peter Edie, he's a chef. And what he's going to do is to at least bring out the talents that we have in our schools when it comes to chefs, because at AgriFest, what we have been able to do is that we have actually nurtured chefs who have gone on to make it, a career of it in the hotels, and that is something that we feel very proud of, and we are starting back again.
AgriFest 2026 runs from February 27th to March 1st. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
There's a growing concern that too many farmers and fishing boat owners in Barbados are still operating without insurance. Immediate past Secretary General of the Barbados Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, Dr. Marcia Brandon, says fisherfolk in particular operate in highly vulnerable and risky conditions simply because of the nature of their work. And she's urging them, those in at-risk sectors, to ensure that they have fit-for-purpose insurance coverage. She made the call while speaking to the media yesterday during the Climate Disaster Risk Insurance Caribbean Map Pilot Workshop held at the Oceania Innovation Hub on Bay Street.
Anybody else living along the coastline. There are lots of people in vulnerable situations living across coastlines in the Caribbean, and they're not covered by any type of instrument at all. So once something happens, that it wipes them out and wipes out their livelihoods, and they have nobody else to go to say X, Y, and Z.
Well, the workshop gave community practitioners, fisherfolk, farmers and small business owners a clear understanding of how climate disaster risk insurance can be a critical tool, helping them bounce back faster when disaster strikes. Dr. Brandon notes that since the initiative began in 2020, farmers, fisherfolk and civil society organizations have worked together to create insurance products.
So they have actually created these insurance products which would suit or would be fit for purpose to help them if a disaster came. We have iterated that. We have done a number of iterations on it. So once a fisherfolk did a product, we would take it to another group of fisherfolk and they would look at it and say, okay, this is cool, but maybe we need this as well, and they add something else in. So we've been doing that over a period of time, and this is the final one. We now have an actual product from an insurance company that's making a proposal to say this is the product that we are proposing. This is affordable, this is accessible, and this is extremely, you will be able to get this quickly.
Students are being challenged to rethink the numbers and see accounting as more than just ledgers and balance sheets. Representatives from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados and the Association of Chartered Accountants Certified Accountants have been making the rounds in schools, encouraging students to see the profession in a new light. Yesterday, that outreach reached the Lodge School, and our news team was there.
From independence to innovation. That was the message delivered to students as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados outlined how the profession helped build Mornin Barbados. ICAB's Chief Executive Officer Lisa Padmore reminded students that when Barbados gained independence, the country needed trained professionals to manage its own financial future.
We did have accountants back then, but those were people whose parents had the opportunity to send them overseas to study accounting. So basically, those who were now accountants decided we needed to find a way to ramp up to have more accountants. And they got together. They loosely called themselves the Barbados Association of Professional Accountants, but they recognized they needed the backing of government. And government needed to support this intervention as well, because the more accountants, the more we could do what we needed to do as an independent nation.
Padmore explains that with the blessing of Father of Independence, Sarah Barrow, ICAB was officially established in 1974, creating a structured path to train accountants locally. She says accounting is about far more than numbers.
Accounting loosely, and it's one of the definitions that you'll see, is all about stewardship. How much money do you have? How much money can you make? And how do you report it?
Into sports now. West Terrace Primary were crowned double champions in the Patsy Calendar Zone when the 2026 Knapsack Championships continued at the Usain Bolt Complex yesterday. West Terrace took the girls' title with 381 points, 214 ahead of Shirley Chisholm Primary on 167, St. Winifred's 120, St. Albans 113, and Mount Tabor Primary rounding off the top 5 on 101. In the boys, West Terrace, who were the defending Knapsack champions, tallied 273 points, with the final in the top 5 being Shirley St. Winifred School on 104. And Mark Goodrich boys takes a look at the sprints.
Time for the Patsy Calendar Zone, Day 2 of Knapsack 2026. Let's take a look at the 100 meters. This is the fastest section. And immediately in the middle of the field, Jenny Allen of West Terrace was totally in control. Check the clock, 14.05 seconds the time. Nia Nurse of Wills was second, and Rosaria Jordan of Westbury third. The boys' equivalent now, and this race was much tighter than the girls. These two in a ding-dong battle. Who is going to win this case? Justice York for Shirley Chisholm in 13.85. Liam Botzel of Mount Tabor was second, and Kaylin Corbin of West Terrace third. Moving along to the under-11s, where the running was taking place in the center before Soraya Maskell showed her stripes. This is the eye of the tiger, folks. The rowing time was 15.30. Jamira Waif representing Shirley Chisholm was second, and third went to Kishara Maynard of St. Silas. Under 11 boys next, and this one was over pretty quickly to Jerry Holder with his darkers on. He took them on. West Terrace, no need to look left or right. That's the champion. Jelani Corbin of Wills was second, and Dazia Wilson of Shirley Chisholm finished third. Under 9 girls to finish off proceedings. The little ones having their fun in the sun. Look at the hands and feet moving in sync. Poetry in Motion from Natalia Grisette Boyce. Nova Ray Edwards of St. Winifred's was the runner-up, while third went to Zamora Howell of Mount Tabor. And Mark Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Goes in the Anton Norris zone. That's our news and sports until now. More news and sports coming up at 12 noon here on TV8. Morning Barbados comes back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with identity.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 19 and a half minutes now after 7 o'clock as we turn our attention. We're always happy when we have the Barbados Union of Teachers sit with us. You know, we've built such a relationship that this relationship is now one that is forever. And I have with me right next to me is Sharice Rock, who is the Public Relations Officer of the Barbados Union of Teachers. And with her is Tara Durant, who is one of the executive members. Am I right, Tara?
Yes, you're right.
All right. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning,
Good
Pearson.
morning.
So
Good
how are
morning,
you,
Barbados.
Sharice?
I am a little sleepy, but good.
Why are you so sleepy?
It's just the rigors of life.
I like that answer, indeed. What's going on, though?
I'm here to talk to you this morning about our upcoming bingo. It's actually tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow,
Thursday night at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. It starts at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30.
Okay. 6:30, 7 p.m. What's the card? How much do you pay for a card?
You pay $50 for a ticket, which entitles you to 2 cards.
To 2 cards. $50 at the door to get me my 2 cards, and then
please.
good luck to all. That's how it goes from there,
Yes,
right?
good luck to you
Me.
if you come.
Fair enough. But there's a reason for this, Tara, that you're doing this.
Yes.
Yes. The reason is to support those going to the Caribbean Union of Teacher Games, known as the CUT Games. So it's an under 15 track and field competition where you take those stars from NAPSAC, those stars from BSAC, and they get to participate in the regional championships. It's often known as the springboard to CARIFTA.
Yes.
And ultimately Olympics. Some notable athletes that have passed through are Obadeli Thompson, Fadakila Jones, Kirani James from Grenada. So you can see, and we've had some superstars come through. So this is a very good way for them to start with regional competitions and for athletes to up their game. So every territory has a competition like NAPSAC and BSAC, and they take their star athletes and they send them together for this regional competition. So we're supporting them. When you come to bingo, you are supporting them to go, to whatever member country they're going to for the games. It happens every 2 years. It's biennial. So this is for a good cause.
And it's happening this year?
It's happening this year.
This year where?
That is to be decided, but it will be in one of our member territories.
Right.
Yes.
And I think we're all excited about this. We know of the names that you've just mentioned, Ms. Durant, and so we are excited to give full support. It's Thursday, Sharice. Tomorrow, not just Thursday. Tomorrow.
And Pearson, the jackpot
is?
But before you get to the jackpot, there are 17 games, $200 payout, cash payout, and the jackpot.
How many hundreds of thousands?
$10,000.
$10,000.
$10,000. Don't say Oli Pearson. That's a lot of money. A big jackpot of $10,000. And if the jackpot isn't won in 45 calls, then there are 5 mini jackpots of $1,000. So
I love it. So you're going to walk away at the end of the night anyway with some money.
People are going to be happy.
Yeah, I think so too. I really think so. So $50 you pay at the door.
Yes.
You get 2 cards.
Yes.
And then you wait and hope that you can get your numbers from your cards for that big jackpot.
Bingo has a huge following in Barbados.
Yes, it does.
And I think Beauty has the biggest bingo in Barbados.
Really?
I do agree.
We have the biggest and the best bingo.
It's always packed.
Because it's always packed?
People look out for our bingo. It's
What
good.
makes it so special?
And people like the all cash bingo, and a lot of people come away at the end of the night with some money. And it's not only bingo is not for the old ladies, it's for the young and the old. Not too young, because you have to be 18 years or older to participate.
So come to the biggest bingo, the best bingo by the BUT tomorrow night, Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center.
Yes.
From 6:30, the doors will be flung open and we can all come in.
Yes.
And we pay our $50 at the door.
You can
for our 2 cards.
You can pay $50 at the door. We'll have some left, or you can get your tickets from any executive member or from our headquarters.
Okay, and that's at Mary Hill.
Yeah, and you can call the headquarters at 436-6139.
436-6139 to reserve your card.
To get your ticket and make sure, because there are a limited amount of tickets available at the door. So if you're coming to pay at the door, make sure you are there by 6:30 so that you don't miss out on this beautiful bingo.
So that you don't miss out on that beautiful bingo, get your tickets now. Today,
Yes.
today,
Yeah,
today,
to
or
get them
early
today.
tomorrow.
Or early tomorrow.
O'clock. And for 436
6139
is the headquarters.
Yes.
Or any of these lovely ladies, you see them, now you ask them for a ticket so that you can be a part of the big, wonderful, beautiful bingo tomorrow night at the Lord Erskine Sandifer Center. Every contribution you make gets you a chance to win up to $10,000, or perhaps in 45 calls a payout of $1,000, or perhaps a $200 payout. You never know. It can all add up by the end of the night.
Yes.
But it goes towards helping the children. The children of Barbados who are so excellent on the track and in the field as well in the upcoming CUT games this year, territory to be announced. And so our little track stars at BSAC and NAPSAC are making their way and making themselves ready for this big competition. But you can help. You can truly, truly help by getting your ticket to be a part of this bingo tomorrow night. And so, is there any entertainment or anything? So it's just bingo, bingo, bingo.
Bingo is entertainment.
Bingo is
entertainment.
entertainment.
You have never played bingo.
Bingo, clickety clack.
and then all these different games.
Okay.
It's a fun activity. As I said, there's a following for bingo, and you know, I don't even know all of the things. There's a bell ringing. There's all kind of things. People be shouting out, and then you have the ones that say bingo. Or oops. I wasn't bingo. So.
And then because we are teachers, before each game they explain the game, so you're also being taught. So if you're a beginner, no worries. You can come sit at a table, get yourself a crew, and you learn as it goes along. So I like that about
Oh, so
bingo.
even I can, because I've never played bingo.
Yes, so of course you should come.
Okay.
And what should be noted, tomorrow is the start of our midterm break. So teachers, you can come out and be a part of our bingo as well. You don't have to go to work on Friday.
It's true.
What an incentive.
Yep.
What an incentive. You win some money, and the added prize is that you don't have to go to work on Friday because it's getting into midterm. Indeed. Y'all are so fortunate. And so we want to encourage you. Go ahead, Tara.
Pearson, I also wanted to note that anybody who cannot come to the bingo, you can still support these children by giving a donation to the Barbados Union of Teachers. Again, that number is 436-6139, and you can directly give that donation for the students of the CUT Games this year, 2026.
I mean, we've all been to a primary school. All of us have gone through the primary school system, and so therefore all of us should be required to help the next generation, this generation of students, to go to the CUT Games. So in whatever ways that you can, make your donation. Make your donation. It does not have to be in the hundreds. You can give your $20 or your $5 or whatever you really think you can. But give, because when it all totals up, it is enough for our children to do their best at the upcoming CUT Games. But tomorrow evening is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of noise in the room, but a lot of winning as well when you come to the bingo. Big fundraising bingo put on by the Barbados Union of Teachers. It's at the Lord Erskine Sandifer Center. Doors will open at 6:30, and in there you get a chance to win some big, big, wonderful jackpots. But most of all, I can't read lips. Okay, I'm getting signals, and I keep saying to people, I cannot read lips. So you have to say it to me loudly or show me the signs. All right, so tomorrow, 6:30, be at the door. Get your tickets today to get your chance. It's $50 to get a ticket. 436-6139.
6139.
Close. 436-6139, the numbers to call to the BUT's headquarters to get your tickets. Pick them up today. Don't wait until tomorrow. We don't have tomorrow yet. But pick them up today, and we'll see how it all goes for you for tomorrow night. And then tomorrow night, good luck to all of you. Good luck to all of you. I'm going to be so jealous of you winners, but try the game. As Miss Durant said, you know, if you've never played bingo, like me, you've never played bingo before, it's easy to learn. You come, you have your little groups, and you'll sit in your group, and they will teach you as the game and the evening progresses as well. So don't think yourselves out of your league. No, come. Your presence there means a lot to the fundraising efforts of the BUT. Your contribution by purchasing a ticket means a lot to the work of the BUT and in their assistance of the young people of Barbados to perform in the upcoming CUT Games. So it's a no-brainer. 436-6139, the number to call at the BUT to get your $50 pass. Pay your monies in. You can buy more than one, right?
Of course.
You can buy as many as you want.
And with every $50 purchase, you get 2 cards.
Yes, but not only that, Pearson. When you get your 2 cards, if you want extra cards, you pay $5 for an extra card.
So you can buy as many cards as you want and spread out.
Yes.
Spread out.
Increase those chances.
Yes.
Come out tomorrow and hopefully you'll be the one shouting bingo.
Bingo. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Sharice and Tara, indeed. Always good to have you. Thank you
You're
so much. All the
welcome.
best. You're very welcome too. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
28 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. We hear it being expressed so many times in so many places, concern for our work ethic. And for generations, Barbadians have been known to have the best work ethic in the Caribbean. I say that with a smile, because it's something of which we've been justly proud. But is that concern justified, or have things shifted and we just have not shifted ourselves by our work ethic? The HR edit helps us to be able to understand better what's happening around us and why we have this concern about work ethic. And we're joined by our good friend Alexia Halliday. Good morning to you, Alexia.
Good morning, Pearson.
Thank you so much for helping us tackle this subject on the work ethic. First of all, for a lot of people, they hear the term work ethic and we don't understand what we're talking about. Describe for us what work ethic is.
Work ethic is basically the value system and the beliefs that persons use to evaluate their behavior and their decisions within the professional workplace. It doesn't only impact that individual's performance, but it also impacts the company as a whole. And that is why work ethic is so key. And that's why so many persons are concerned about making sure that they employ persons that have the type of work ethic that they believe is going to contribute positively to their bottom line.
So work ethic is personal?
It is personal, and the discussion today is whether it's also generational. There are differences in terms of how persons from different generations would describe their work ethic. So traditionally, baby boomers and Gen X would have described work ethic based on staying in the workplace for a long period of time, being loyal to that particular company, putting in the long work hours, paying your dues, and that is what was considered to be representative of strong work ethic. The younger generation, Gen Z and millennials, see it different because it has now evolved. So they're looking at productivity over presence. They don't have a problem with paying their dues, but they're not willing to put up with a negative or toxic work environment. They're looking for flexibility. They're looking for work-life balance. They're willing to work hard, but at the end of the day, they also want to make sure that the contract between those two persons, the employer and the employee, that they're also getting what they want out of that contract.
If it's personal, therefore, it's values-based.
Yes, it is.
So it's based upon the things that I consider or the individual considers to be important and relevant to the time. And that's what I've heard you to say. So therefore, is it possible to shift in those values so that you adjust your work ethic to a more positive work ethic?
I would say that in a lot of cases, because its value is based on perception. So when we sit back as the older generation, we observe the younger generation, we think they don't have any commitment, they're job hopping and so forth. But for them, they're seeing it differently. They're trying to find a workplace that suits their needs where they can contribute positively. So traditionally we looked at putting in the hours and working hard and long hours. For them, it's about working smarter. It's about being able to work flexibly but still be able to deliver at the end of the day what they've been contracted to deliver. So for instance, you may have a millennial worker who is clocking out every single day at 4:30, but that millennial is meeting their KPIs. You may have an older worker who stays late every day, but at the end of the day, they're not delivering what they're supposed to deliver. So for the younger generation, they focus more on productivity versus presence. Am I delivering what I need to deliver at the end of the day? Am I comfortable in this workplace? I'm giving my loyalty to this company. Is this company also being loyal to me? Because at the end of the day, they would have looked at their parents who would have stayed in one company for a long time, and then they may have exited the workplace due to burnout, or they may have even been laid off. So if I am giving you my loyalty all of these years, are you also going to be equally loyal to me at the end of the day? But it is a business. So at the end of the day, they recognize that it is a business and they act accordingly.
Right, so there has to be a degree of flexibility built in to how the business manages its human resources and those different components that you just described. But that in itself must make it pretty challenging so that you have the right combination. You do want to have experience and youth at the same time, but at the same time they have different clashes. So how do you manage those differences so that the company succeeds?
So when you enter a company and you're new, you have to have a certain level of humility as you learn, as you move up the ladder. But at the end of the day, while you are learning, you are expecting a supportive management, a supportive member of management to help you along the way. You're paying your dues, but you don't expect to be abused at the end of the day. That is their perspective. Our perspective is at the end of the day, we want them to be respectful because we grew up in a generation where it's built on respect. Over time, with open communication, that relationship is able to evolve to where you're able to meet each other halfway. The older generation perceives the younger generation to be very aggressive. It is their way of being assertive, but we have raised them to be assertive. We came up in a generation where children were supposed to be seen and not heard. We did not raise our children that way. So when they get into the workplace, they want to be heard. They are going to be vocal, but sometimes the way in which they're vocal for us, we perceive as being very aggressive. But over time, the standards are evolving. Years ago, when you are at work, you physically had to be present at work. Now you could work remotely from anywhere, or you could have a hybrid of working from home and working in the office and so forth. So as work evolves and as the standards evolve, as the persons who are in the workplace evolve, and those persons are moving higher up in management, the workplace is going to change. The key thing is respect. respect for everybody in the organization. If there's mutual respect, all generations can work together. And we also need to be careful that our perceptions versus what is actually reality. So we spoke about job hopping, for instance. We interpret that as the younger generation having no commitment. But at the end of the day, job hopping results in higher pay. At the end of the day, we stay in the company for many years and we don't want to leave, and we think that that proves our loyalty. But you can be loyal to more than one company over time, and that helps with your growth. That helps you to move to where you want to move to within your career and so forth. So it's all about perception. An HR manager looking at a resume years ago would want to see that you stay in one company for a long time. These days we understand and we appreciate that you would move as you need to move to get better benefits, to grow, to move into different positions and so forth, as long as you're not hopping every 3 months, every 6 months or whatever. If you're showing growth when you're moving from company to company, you're moving into a company where your role is expanded or where you have a higher level of responsibility, where you're learning more, then we can see the reason why you're moving from job to job.
Sometimes one gets the feeling that license is given to this job to job hop move, and as a consequence, standards are slipping, because you have not spent enough time to ensure you've built up enough understanding of what the standards are and what is required of you. So therefore, as you hop, it is being watered down. Those standards are being watered down. Do you have that concern from the HR edit?
I would have that concern if, as you said, you're hopping before you're fully able to be able to expand your experience in that particular role. So if you go into a company and before you're able to become totally competent in that role, you've moved on to something else, and that's a pattern of behavior, then you're jack of all trades, a master of none. But there's also another consideration. If you go into a workplace and you realize this is not for me, Gen Z and millennials are not going to stay. They're not going to stay in a company where they don't think there's a good fit. So they are searching for where they think it is a good fit for them and where they can contribute productively to that organization. So when you're actually interviewing that candidate, you need to understand what is their motivation for moving from job to job. At the end of the day, if you're totally restless and you can't settle anywhere, yes, that would be a red flag. But if you are moving towards something that is more suited with your experience, with what your goals are, then that is something that we understand. We are not working just for a paycheck. We also working to be, at the end of the day, to also be satisfied, to be comfortable. We spend a lot of time at work. So it has to be an environment where you're comfortable. And millennials are saying at the end of the day that I am not going to stay where I am not comfortable. So if this environment is not working for me, I'm going to move on to something else, and I'm going to experiment until I eventually find that position.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs means something totally different today than it meant in my earlier generation as well. But there's a cost to such movement and hiring and firing, and there's a cost to that. And so that volatility oftentimes cause companies to retain longer those who've been there longer, and not have so much time for those who might seem flighty. What's the danger in having that mindset?
So you spoke about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Remember, at the top of the pyramid is self-actualization. Correct. So that is what that employee is looking for. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to long-serving employees and to having fresh blood come into the company. Sometimes we get set in our ways and we get comfortable when we're in an organization for a long time. And sometimes we're not willing to learn how to do things differently, smarter, or better. So we say, we've always done it this way, there's no need to change. Sometimes bringing in somebody new with a fresh perspective, somebody who has had different experiences, can actually be very helpful in terms of helping you to be more efficient and more effective at work. So you need to find the balance between somebody who is flighty, because there will be persons of all generations who are flighty, and somebody who is always seeking to improve and to do better. once you understand what the needs are of the company, then based on that, you can hire based on that. Ideally, having a combination of the ones who have been there for and has the knowledge, the industry knowledge that have been there for a long time, and those ones that come in that bring a fresh breath but are willing to learn and are respectful of the persons that they find in the company. Ideally, those companies tend to perform better because they have the best of both worlds.
And oftentimes that's the cost we don't measure. We measure the other costs because I know I have to hire someone else, I have to do the training all over again, and we think that's so expensive.
It is.
But it's also expensive when we're not flexible enough to have that combination that you're talking about there.
Exactly, and because it's expensive to hire and to retrain, we need to make sure that we develop our employees. We need to make sure that we give them the benefits that they want. We need to listen to them and make sure that we're able to retain the talent once we get that right talent. The employee would move on if you don't develop them, if their management is not supporting them. Most persons leave companies not because of the job, but because of management. So we need to make sure that we develop our management team, our supervisors, our employees, to make sure that we can retain the best talent and develop the best talent. If we've had somebody who's been there for 25 years and they've not developed, that is our failing. At the end of the day, as managers, we determine the workplace culture through accountability, through training, and so forth. We have it within our power to make sure that the workplace is a place where our employees will want to stay and they will want to develop and they would want to grow. Or we can make it a place where they're not happy. They come to work from day to day, but at the end of the day, the engagement is low, the productivity is low, and so forth. So all of those are things that we all need to consider.
A lot of times we describe work ethic to be, one, you're punctual. You work a little bit longer. You make fewer mistakes. All of those kinds of, you have a good attitude. You get it right every time, and that's your work ethic. You are so into the company that is what we call work ethic. You're saying it's much more than simply that.
I am saying that we have a lot to do with, at the end of the day, the work ethic in the company. It's not developed in a vacuum. We help to develop that culture. So if, for instance, I want my team to be punctual, I need to model that behavior as well. Is based on accountability. If I set my KPIs, I need to hold my team accountable for those KPIs. So if punctuality is important in that particular role or in that particular culture, then at the end of the day, I need to make sure that my employees are held accountable for being punctual. You can't just say that my millennials that are coming to work are not punctual and that's how millennials are. You are failing as a manager. If your employees are coming to work every single day, that is your failing, not your employees. People will be late regardless of every generation. The productivity could be high or low regardless of what generation they are. It's based on your accountability, your management skills to be able to get the best out of your employee. So if we want a particular work ethic, we not only need to model that behavior, but we need to make sure that we have systems and structures in place the whole person's accountable to be able to deliver those things. And we need to make sure that the KPIs are crystal clear and that we are working with our employees to be able to meet those KPIs. So at the end of the day, we are able to meet the overall company KPIs that we have to achieve at the end of the fiscal year.
I'm smiling and I'm nodding because you're saying everything correctly. I'm assessing you as we go. So it's modeling and also measuring.
Yes.
And when those of you watching who are asking, what is Alexia talking about when she says KPI? Key performance indicators. Key performance indicators. There's certain things that you set as certain benchmarks as it goes to be attained. And that requires measurement and assessment and coaching and all the rest that go with it as well. And so all of that is part of the culture we've been talking about when we're talking about creating the best work environment and the best work ethic out of those who work for you. And to not see that the person who sits at the desk from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock in the night is putting in the work. They may not be. Or that person who starts at 8 o'clock and says by 3 o'clock, I'm done because I'm moving on, that they're not putting in the work that they need to put in. So there's a greater understanding for the difference of ages and stages and the different approaches to how people do work today and how we begin to reshape our understanding of what work ethic means. Because it is not as simple as assessment of bad behavior, bad time management, or excellent time management, or excellent behavior. It's much, much more than that. But HR Edit can help you have a greater understanding of that. And that's where Alexia Halliday plays a role. Indeed, and how can we contact you?
So you can reach me at alexia.halliday@theHREdit.co, or you can give me a call at 238-EDIT.
238-EDIT, simple, or alexia.halliday@theHREdit.co.
Yes.
And that's how you make contact. And let Alexia come sit with you. Assessment is important, but then direction is given as to how you can make the change. And if you're serious about the business, you will implement the changes that are required for the success you're seeking. Thank you so very much, Alexia.
You're most welcome, Pearson. Always a pleasure.
Always. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in a
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's been all over the news that the Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away yesterday. As you look at his life, he was a civil rights leader. He actually ran for the presidency of the United States, and many say that he was a forerunner for Barack Obama to eventually become the president of the United States as a black man. And so in that running by Reverend Jesse Jackson for the presidency in the United States, our local performer here, Pitch Up, did a song in his tribute. Take a look.
So the next man over here is a man called Pitch Up, doing good luck to you, Jesse Jackson.
This man was sent from my Georgia throne, and all can see where he is going. These kind words to you, there's no turning back, and one day you will find he's a lesson in his time. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and God guide you true. Good luck to you, brother. save all their children, and his good work will never end. Oh, what a great, great contribution is contributing to all their children. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, Evan Darcy Jackson. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and God guide you true. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, Reverend Darcy Jackson. Good luck to you, brother, good luck to you. Good luck to you, and God guide you true. All races on earth mean the same thing to heed. Treat one another like his own family. The man greatest aim is making their world free. So all will live in great harmony. Good luck to you, brother. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, Reverend Darcy Jackson.
Pitch up, boy. Pitch up, pitch up. Guess what his name is? His name is Pearson Jordan. Yeah, he has my name, Pearson Jordan. I know because he is from St. Lucie. We would have driven on the same Connelltown bus, moving from Bridgetown to St. Lucie. And so there's some here, I wonder if we're related. You can't be related by first name, you're related by last names. That's how the relations come. But no, Pearson Jordan is his name. And so Pearson actually now resides in Germany. He's doing quite well still. And so there he was, in tribute to Jesse Jackson, on the occasion of Jesse Jackson's running for the presidency of the United States. Good man, great song you did. So never to be forgotten. Good luck to you, Pearson Jordan. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
February is the month of love, and Morning Barbados wants to hear your love story. In 90 seconds or less, send us your short video sharing your love story, how it began, how it started, and why it is so important to you. Selected videos will be featured on Morning Barbados and on TV8 on our social media platforms, and the most votes wins. The month of love is here, ladies and gentlemen, and made very special by South Point Hotel, where breathtaking ocean views meet modern elegance and romance comes naturally. So, love is in the air. Send us your video by email to marketing@cbc.bb. You have until February the 25th to do so, and good luck to all. We can't wait to hear your love story.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, we asked you a question today. Did you have a chance to really think about it? Do you remember the question? It is, what does Lent mean to you today? In these today times, is it a time for spiritual reflection, giving something up, doing something good in your community, just a reminder of a cultural tradition, or it doesn't really resonate today? Is that still it for you, or any of those things for you? What do you do? What does Lent mean to you today? I want you to take today to give thought to this question, and you'll find an answer. You'll find an answer. You might find yourself in church as a consequence of your seeking an answer to this question as well. And all through Lent, spending time in reflection of what it means, God's paying of a ransom on our behalf so that we can be returned to Him. We can have that solid relationship yet again to Him. It was a big move. And as you young people would say today, it was a boss move. As God brings us back to our relationship with Him through His sending of His Son to die for us, so that death no longer has a sting, none whatsoever. We have no fear of what comes next. We shall live forever with God in heaven. And so there's a lot happening in Holetown today as well. Today, this morning at 10 o'clock, there's the bus tour. You can go on the bus tour at 8 o'clock this evening in the Liming Tent. That's where it's happening as well, where Hypersounds will be performing a little later on. Tomorrow, there's an Alfred Pragler Memorial Talk. That's at 10 o'clock at Holtown Methodist. And at 8 o'clock in the Liming Tent, you do have some karaoke. It's going to be a good time today and tomorrow for Holtown Festival. And don't forget, NAPSAT, the Anton-Norris Zone is on today in the NAPSAT series at the Usain Bolt complex. A lot is happening, and so to all of you, my little crew joins me in saying, have a good today. Be the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.